welcome to Travel Crochet. My name is Tracy and we are back for another video. Now this one will be in a couple of sections, but I needed to film this part because the one and only thing I have made since Sunday's market, and today is Tuesday, I need to show you because I think that will be going home to its forever home tomorrow. So we shall show you this. So Pillow Cat I have made again, and it turns out quite large. Now Pillow Cat is from I think it's a children's TV show, Gabby's Dollhouse. Now, what I like to do is see what movies are coming up in the future this year. And there is a Gabby's Dollhouse movie coming out in September. So I thought I better start making some of these patterns. And the top of my head, I have forgotten who this pattern is by, but it will be linked in the description. It is a Etsy pattern. Hopefully it is still available. I have not had time to recheck the links yet, but I will do that before the video comes out. So Pillow Cat is done, and this is the one and only make since I have made since Sunday, and I actually had Pillow Cat partly finished before Sunday's market. I just didn't get it completed before the market. So that's all the crocheting I have done. Then usually after the market, you're pretty much tired for an entire day afterwards, and I didn't really get much done yesterday. I did start last night a new project that will be part of another video in the future. But then today we decided to go for a drive to Brisbane, which I think it was 3 hours one way, I think, or 2.5, might have been 2.5, for a drive. And before I came home, I decided to drop into the Maroochydore spotlight there, because every time I look up stock for my spotlight here, it always shows me stock in Maroochydore that I don't have here in Hervey Bay, but it always seems to be stocked in Maroochydore. And I thought, it seems to be a well-stocked spotlight. I'm going to go check it out. Well, I am glad I did, because I got quite a few mill-ends. They actually had 4 bins of mill-ends. My spotlight here only has one bin, and it's always half full, never full. So when I saw those 4 bins, I went, oh wow, let's hope there's some good stuff in there. And there was. So I had just started pulling one out of its bag, and then I thought, nope, I need to show my yarn haul. So I have wound up 4 hanks into this nice big ball, but if you can see, that has got white, yellow and grey in that. I like to try and think of things that I'm going to make with the yarn that I buy, but at the moment all I'm thinking is like a chicken with those colours, but you never know. Then I got this one, and now all our mill-ends are 400 grams. They are like mystery surprises. We don't know exactly what they are. We mostly either guess by looking at them and looking at colours and seeing online what we think they are. I think this is a Bernat blanket, I believe, but I'm not 100% sure. But we get 400 grams of it, and at the moment they're on special for $10. So I've had this colour before and I really like doing it. I use a lot of that with the Paw Patrol dogs I've been doing recently, but other things, of course. Then I found this very pretty one with, again, it's the 3 colours twisted together. So we've got a dark blue, light blue and a white. We were thinking maybe a whale or something with this colour. Who knows what it'll end up being. But I've got these all beside me. Then the last one of the twisted was this brown, I think it's a light brown as well, and a white. And definitely I was thinking chickens with this one. But you never know. It could be a teddy bear. It could be anything, really. Then there was, where's the other one? Here. Still on the multicolour. Found this one with browns and blues. So I was, you know, even thinking a donkey, a elephant. I don't know. They're surprises, but this one I adore. The colours in this is just amazing. Absolutely love it. And you know what we're all like. That looks like turtle shells, but I've been holding off on making more turtles because they haven't been as popular, but that's still screaming turtle. It is. So we'll see. It may end up being a turtle. It might end up being a jellyfish in there. Or anything else. I don't know. If you see any colours that screams a particular item to make, please let me know in the comments. I'm always up for suggestions. Then I found two of this really dark blue, royal blue colour, which is fabulous, but it's the really soft. I think, again, that it's the Bernat blanket. I'm not sure. I'll try and pull it out a little bit. So, yeah. Or if it's Bernat baby blanket. I don't know. We don't know. They're surprises. I mean, yeah, that's the information we get. So, two of those. And then, lucky last, I managed to get 3 of this purple. So I am so happy with that. It's nice to get some of the plain colours in this, and then occasionally you can find, you know, these ones that you can match up with the plain one. It might, don't know how that will go with that blue. So that looks quite good together. So anyway, I wanted to quickly jump on, record this, so then I can, after a full day of travelling, we left at 8 o'clock this morning and got back at 7 o'clock tonight. So I'm just going to start winding these into balls so they're usable, and watch some TV. And I'll get into some crocheting tomorrow. So tomorrow I am going to start the new project inspired by Robin from Notting Hood Crochet, where she's been doing like a lucky dip type of picker pattern out of a jar, because that is where I spend half my time, is trying to figure out what pattern to do next. So, and I may or may not have purchased a whole heap of new patterns. And I have amongst that also patterns that I've had saved for a long time that I've never gotten around to making. But also in that list will be items that I need to remake that have sold at the market. So there's a huge amount in that bowl that I will pick out what pattern to start with. I'll do that first thing tomorrow morning and show you what I pick out. And we will go from there. And the only thing, obviously, that will stop me from making the item is if I don't have the right coloured yarn to make it. But I just put in, not only did I just buy this today, I just put in a fairly large order with Zach's yarn, a really good chenille yarn today. He restocked right on 12 midday when the site opened. I was on there, put my order in, so I'm really excited to try that yarn. I even noticed already there was a notification in my postage app that the label has already been created, so that is going to be on its way pretty quickly by the look, so that I'm very impressed with that. Hopefully it doesn't take too long to get here. Sometimes Hervey Bay seems to be a black zone for mail deliveries, and it may take a few days, it may take a week, it might take 2 weeks. So hopefully it doesn't take 2 weeks, because I want that new yarn to start changing over. Hopefully I like it, because I've never tried it, changing from this Temu yarn over to Zach's yarn, and see how I go. But yeah, I think I did have a tiny section at the end of this cube here, there, where I had some card making stuff. I think I now need to pull that out because I'm running out of space and need that for yarn and not card making. So I need to find another home for that somewhere. I have no idea where, and that will become more yarn in there. Anyway, this is an update for now. I'll come back in the morning and draw out my first pattern that I'll be creating and see how we go with this type of video. Definitely Robin has inspired me. She did get some difficult ones in the last video, so some of mine are quick makes, some of them are really big makes, some of them I don't know because I've never made them before because they're brand new patterns. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. It'll be interesting to see how this type of choosing a pattern works out. Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow morning and we'll choose out our first pattern. See you then. All right, I am back and I have finished the hedgehog. Now I have decided that I'm actually not going to wait to the end because I think it might be better going over each item as I finished it, as it's fresh in my head. So this guy is gorgeous. Have a look at this. I'm absolutely in love with this pattern, although my thumb is killing me. So you actually do what's called a front side loop stitch in the single crochet. So that it's actually single crochets, but when you, after putting the loop in and doing the loop over or under, whatever you normally do, you pull that second loop out and finish off the crochet while you've got that loop out. So it's doing single crochets, but with a bit of a difference. And I think this pattern is absolutely gorgeous. So the ears you create separately, and I never trust the patterns, which I should learn to do, and it said finish off, but I left a tail. And same with the legs, you make them separately, and I left a huge long tail, but I didn't need to because they're actually crocheted in the round. So when you crochet these in the round, we don't do the loops on those bits there, so you can see those. But I think the legs being done separately helps them stand out rather than being like bobble stitches or something like that. But I absolutely adore this pattern. I think this will sell well and I'll be definitely making more. So this was actually nearly the same colors that Southern Girl Crochet actually had in her picture of her pattern, or one of the pictures. And I'm really, really happy with this pattern. So there we go. First one done, and I am so happy. I don't know why I didn't make this earlier. The only thing is that I think the placement of the ears, this one could have possibly been over one stitch, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad. All right, so time to pick out the next pattern that I will do. So far, it's been good. Let's see what the next one's going to be. Hopefully it's more new patterns I haven't done before. All right, let's see what we have. Oh, okay, I have done this one before. It is Groot, but I don't have Groot. I sold him last time I made him. Yes, I do have enough colours for Groot, so I'll be able to do that. And come back and talk about Groot when I have finished making him. So, second one, and Groot shouldn't take too long. It's fairly straightforward pattern, so yeah, we'll see you when Groot is finished. Good morning. I have finally been able to get on and show you Groot. I did finish him at 1 a.m. this morning because yesterday, being Wednesday, I have my friend who normally comes over for dinner, and we chat until 8 p.m. and then I had to film and edit my Wednesday video. So that's why Groot took a little bit longer than normal, because the actual creating the pattern doesn't take that long. But here he is. He's actually larger than what I've normally made him. I normally use a blanket yarn, but I think I've always used the Portercraft blanket yarn, which is one that we can get here in discount stores in Australia. And I think it's obviously a lot thinner. And this is the Modavira blanket yarn that I've used from Spotlight. And he's turned out a lot larger. So I'm going to have to think of a new price for this one, I believe. Not sure what I'll price him at just yet. But now Groot, and now this pattern is actually on Etsy. It is called the Baby Tree Man, I believe, not Groot, because of, you know, why they can't label them what the actual character is. And it is by Katie Dids Crafts, I believe. It will be in the description. So this is Groot. Alrighty, time to choose a new pattern. So far, I mean, I've only had to make 2 so far, but they've both been kind to me. So, next one I choose. Alright, what have we got? We have... it's a new pattern that I purchased the other day from Etsy. So it's Vey Puff Pokemon is what it's called. So I believe that means it's Vaporon, but again, they can't call it that on Etsy. So I'm excited. I should have the colours for him too, which is great. You may notice a bit of change in background here. I've moved my Temu yarns down there to make room for Zaddy Crafts, a really good chenille yarn that hopefully will be here soon. It may not be here before the end of this video because postage to Hervey Bay seems to take forever. And I've got my blanket yarns pretty much in that cube, LD and some acrylic right in the corner, the last 2 in the corner. That LD yarn I've squished, absolutely squished in there, so I'm going to have to start using some of that when I get a pattern that I can use those colours. So all my card making and other bits and bobs that I had in there is now in a tub beside me because I couldn't have it in there anymore because my range is expanding gradually. So yeah, little space waiting for my new yarn. All right, I shall have some breakfast and start on Vaporon. See you when I'm finished. All right, I am back. Oh, when I spoke to you this morning, it was around 8:30. By the time I had breakfast and that, maybe at the latest started Vaporon, or Vay Puff as the pattern is called, maybe at the latest 10 a.m. Finally finished him at about 6 p.m. or just after. It's been a marathon, I can tell you now. And I didn't hardly have any breaks today. Yeah, it's been a marathon. But before I show you that, I forgot to really go over Groot and the pattern, the way it's made. So this was with blanket yarn. I used a 6mm hook. It is all no sew. Well, it is sewing if you decide to do the vine. That's the way in the pattern where you create it and then sew it on, but I just surface crochet it directly in, so then there's no actual sewing. But yeah, you create the arms to crochet in the round, and the usual, create one leg, finish it off, create the second, join them, and then you go all the way up. And even this crown part is all in the one thing. You're just working on front loops and then back loops to do the inside of the head. So I thought I'd better just go over that part. I was remiss on doing that this morning, and I believe I used 30mm eyes, safety eyes for him. All right, now back to Vaporon. So he has turned out quite large. So I have to move back, so against me. So he is quite large. He has a lot of sewing and separate parts. So you first off create the head piece that's got the color changes. Color changes don't worry me. That is fine. Then you move on to making the arms separately and leave them open at the top to add to the body afterwards. Then you're creating these separate 3 fins. You create this separate neck piece. You create the foot part of the leg and the thigh part separately, and you're sewing those on. This spine part you're creating, then sewing on. The tail separate, create one piece, finish it off, add the second piece, and then go up, then sew it on. I was getting tired by the end of it and had thought that this spine piece was meant to go around the end of the tail. It's actually not meant to be on there, but I think it actually looks pretty good anyway, so that's a little bonus that I added. So you sew the head to the body. Once you've got that done, you sew the legs to the body, the tail to the body, the spine to the tail and body. You're sewing this part on. Once the head's on, then you're sewing all these parts on. Yeah, it took a really long time, and like I said, probably at the latest would have started at 10. Didn't stop for a lunch break, pretty much didn't stop for much other than bathroom breaks today, and just watching YouTube while making it, and yeah, finished about 6 o'clock. So it was a good 8 hours plus in this today. So if you're after a quick make, this guy is certainly not that. So it is a Etsy pattern by a designer called Sleek Grace. Now the pattern, there is absolutely nothing wrong with the written pattern. I understood it completely. It was easy to follow. There's just lots of bits to it, lots of parts that you have to make and sew together. But yeah, I think he turned out all right in the end. I'm obviously going to have to charge more than what I do for this size on average. I haven't quite decided yet. Normally this size I would charge about $35 if it was a fairly, straightforward pattern, but he's going to be at least $40, probably more, I'm not sure yet. But anyway, he is done. So now I will pick the next pattern if it's another one that's takes a long time. I will start it in the morning, stay there. If it seems to be a nice easy pattern, I may start it tonight, but yeah, I'll probably need a break after that marathon anyway. So now I do have to show you, I do have tickets in there. Whoops, one just fell out. Where'd that go? Oh, there. One jumped out. Can't have that. All right, let's see what the next pattern will be. Please be not so many sewing pieces. Because it was a brand new pattern, I had no idea what it was going to be like. All right, what do we have? Oh, we have Light Fury. Oh. I may have to pick again because I don't think I have enough white left to make Light Fury. No, I'm gonna have to get some more white. All right, I will leave this out to come back to. I'm gonna have to pick again, only because I don't have enough yarn. I don't mind making Light Fury. All right, well, that's the next one. Here we go. Rocky from Paw Patrol. I'm going to have to look up to see what colours he is. I've got a feeling he's got a lot of grey in him. If he's got a lot of grey, I don't have any grey left that's in full skein size. So I might be redrawing again. I will go and double check now, and I'll be right back. All right, now I've just pulled up the pattern for Rocky, and yes, he is mostly grey. Unfortunately, I have only tiny little bits in the, you know, the smaller leftovers up the top there. I don't have a full skein of grey. Oh, the picks aren't going well tonight. I'll put those aside. I'll have to put them back in once I get some more yarn. All right, let's see. Third time lucky. Let's hope. All right, what do we got this time? A guinea pig. Guinea pig. Now this one is one of the ones I've had saved. I'm pretty sure it's an Instagram, free Instagram pattern. Let me look at my iPad right now. I'm pretty sure I should have enough browns. Guinea pig. Yes, it's a free Instagram pattern by My Yarn Spo. Yes, so yeah, browns, a little, I mean, tiny bits of white, so I have enough for little bits, or blacks, depending on what color scheme I choose. Yes, I can do a guinea pig. All right, now I'll just show you on here, pull it up on my screen. Yeah. So that's the guinea pig there. All right, hopefully that should be a fairly quick pattern, and yeah, I can just gradually do that tonight. I probably won't come back on tonight. I'll come back in the morning to show you that and draw out another pattern. May have to go to Spotlight tomorrow to get some white and grey. No, I'll have to check because Harvey Bay generally doesn't get stocked well with the Motivera yarn. I'll have to check. All right, we'll come back in the morning. So today is, what day is it today? Thursday. So tomorrow will be Friday. So we've still got a couple of days to keep this going, which is, I'm enjoying it. I just, yeah, glad that this next pattern wasn't as big as Vaporon because yeah, that was a big one. Anyway, we'll be back tomorrow and we'll show you a guinea pig. See you then. All right, I am finally back. It is Saturday afternoon now. Yesterday I ended up finishing the guinea pig that I drew out. I'm not sure it looks like a guinea pig. Chris thinks it kind of looks like one. Now the pattern is actually a free Instagram pattern by, I've got it written here, my.yarnspo on Instagram. The pattern is actually for a solid colour, and if you want to make it various colours, you just add your own colour changes. I did have images up of guinea pigs and was just kind of randomly putting some white in there. So that is completed. Then I went downtown to see if I could get some of the blanket yarn colours for, what did I pull out? Rocky, the Paw Patrol, and Light Fury, because online it said that they had some in stock, but when I went there, they did not. So, but I still want to complete the patterns if I can. So I know I said I wasn't going to do the Paw Patrols in the smaller size, however, I had the colours. So here is Rocky completed. And he is rather cute. Rather cute. And unfortunately, this is one of the patterns that is no longer available, so I cannot link that in for you. I apologise. Then, when I was down the street, we went op shopping, and for my US friends, you call that thrifting. So here they're called opportunity shops, the secondhand stores, because when I was putting Vaporon together the other day, I snapped one of my knitting needles that I use as Ammi sticks basically. So I found 2 more pairs of knitting needles to use as Ammi sticks while I was there. And then I was watching Crafty Sue 519's video the other day where she had made one of the little scrumps, and she had actually used real buttons for the eyes, and I thought that is a brilliant idea instead of trying to crochet them. So while I was out op shopping, I found some buttons and bought this little container to put them in. So now I have various buttons to choose from if I make a scrump or any other ones that may have overalls and you want to add just a little button as decoration. So now I have that. All right, so next on the list is Light Fury. This is all the white blanket yarn I have left. I don't think it's enough, but I want to give it a go because I've drawn it out. I want to give it a go, see if I win Yarn Chicken. Now Chris may be going for a drive tomorrow to Bundaberg with a friend, and I will ask him if he goes to drop into Spotlight there to see if they've got any more white. If they do, I'll get him to get me 1 or 2 so I can have more stock of white because Harvey Bay is out. So that's what I will start working on now is Light Fury, see how far I get. I don't think it's enough to complete it. Actually, I think this white is actually a completely different colour. Oh, unless I make a smaller Light Fury, if you can see. There, I put the Aldi yarn right there. There is 3 skeins of white. I think that would be enough. Maybe I make a smaller Light Fury. Okay, I might do that. And if I get through that, might start one with this anyway. And I just add to my whips of other things like the turtle over there that I haven't been able to finish because they've never got the blue back in stock that I need. All right, I think that is a plan. I'll get that white, make Light Fury in the smaller version, start in the bigger one, and then we'll come back and draw out another one, since we still have today and tomorrow morning before I put out my video. All right, we'll see you then. All right, it is now a Sunday morning. I have just finished Light Fury in the Aldi yarn, and I think she is gorgeous in this yarn, in this size. So that is now complete. Now, today is the day that I normally have out my next video, but we'll see what I can pull out of here to see if I'll get another one completed or not, or if it will go into Wednesday's video, because I actually like doing it this way and want to keep this going. All right, let's see what we've got. Oh, I would say this may go into next video, but I will start it and I'll try a small anchor, the octopus. So I shall start that. It is the small one. However, any size anchor the octopus takes a fair amount of time, so we will see. Anyway, I didn't say, for all of you who don't know, this pattern is by Snuggle Beans Crochet on Etsy. All right, so I'll add this to the pile. We'll see how far I get with the small anchor today, and I'll come back anyway before I complete the video and show you how far I got with small anchor. See you then. Okay, I am not going to get anchor completed tonight. I need to get this video edited and out, but I have got all of the tentacles underside done, and 2 added with the colour. So this is the colour I have chosen, which is a frosted baby burnette blanket. And that gets really tough on your hands, because when you're doing these, you're doing 61 chains to when you're creating this. You're also doing 61 chains when you're creating that. But because this has got the bobble stitch, it shrinks that. And when you are crocheting it onto this one, you actually have to really pull it out for it to meet the same length, because if you don't pull it out, it ends up being like that much too long. The colored side, like this side, ends up way too long, so it gets very, very hard on the hands. So definitely we'll have to continue this, but I am loving picking the pattern, so that will continue for next video definitely. I think because also I've got quite a few patterns that I've never made before that are in amongst that I may or may not get, so it's a bit of excitement added there. But I thought I'd just quickly recap everything that I made. So in the end it was only 5 completed, but I mean, the first one I made, oh, I've got them sitting beside me here, was the hedgehog Southern Gals crochet pattern. Just doing these loops took quite some time, so pretty much there was only 2 patterns that are a bit faster out of this, but some that I'd never done before. So this was that one, put that aside. Then the second one was Vaporon, or Vapuff it's called on Etsy, and this one was quite a few hours. I think it was like 8 hours in the end, so that was a really long project, but it was a new pattern that I hadn't done before, so that was interesting to do. Then we moved on to Groot. On the pattern, I think he's called Baby Tree Man. And all the patterns will be linked in the description as always. So I love this pattern, and it's one of the quicker ones to make. Had to have a couple of quicker ones. Then we moved on to the guinea pig that doesn't really, to me, look like a guinea pig. When I showed Kim's, she suggested maybe some face shaping, but to be honest, I'd moved on by then and really can't be bothered. So if he doesn't sell, he may end up in a mystery box or mystery bag eventually, but you got to give it a go first. Then I did the Rocky from the Paw Patrol. Unfortunately, this pattern is no longer available. My Passionate Crafter. I don't know if you send them a message on their Instagram if they have a way for you to still purchase this pack or not. I don't know. But these guys are pretty quick to make. I guess the first time a bit slower, but the basic dog shape is quite fast. It's just the extra little bits that you add with the collar tag and the hats and things that take a little bit extra time, but I love this pattern. And then we did Light Fury in a smaller yarn, which I absolutely adore. I think she is gorgeous. And then we had decided to pulled out Anchor. And I decided, because I'd pulled out small Anchor the octopus, I actually changed it to, if we're going to do it, go large or go home. So this is actually going to be the large version of Anchor because I've chosen the blanket yarn. It's the same pattern, and it's just depends on the yarn that you use, how large he turns out, obviously. All right, so that is it for this video. However, one thing I do want to say is a very warm welcome to our newest traveller. Traveller is my YouTube membership group name, and that is Karen Dilks. Very much welcome to you to the membership, and so that's my second member now that I have, which is amazing. Our first member is Erin Hanna, so we have 2 travellers now. So welcome, and again to both of you, if you wish to have a free copy of my Leonard the Lobster pattern, please send me an email. Due to YouTube's privacy policies, obviously we don't get a copy of your email address. So if you would like a free copy of the pattern, send me an email, which is always in the description of every video, but it's travelcrochetau@gmail.com, and I will send you your free copy of Leonard the Lobster pattern. So welcome to both of you, and Erin is on her 2nd month, which is absolutely amazing, and thank you so much. And yes, until next video, which will be Wednesday, and we will continue with drawing out the mystery patterns, which I absolutely love. And thank you, Robin from Knotting Hook Crochet, where I pinched this idea from. So when I saw that Robin was doing that, I just had to try it. Yes, you definitely can pick out some patterns that you may not want to do or not in the mood for a lot of sewing or bigger patterns, but that's kind of a bit of the fun of it, I think. And yeah, some weeks I may end up with more patterns achieved because I pick out smaller makes, or I might get 1 or 2 made because I pull out, you know, the large makes like Anchor the Octopus or the Vaporon pattern. But anyway, it's been a lot of fun. Thank you, and we shall see you again on Wednesday. Till then, see you later. Bye.